What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. So there's three things that I want to talk about today and three big headlines. The first one is the merge priced in. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that this upcoming merge is happening. Now, is the price of Ethereum going to be rising dramatically when it happens, or are we already at the point of the price of where Ethereum is going to be? We'll talk about that. Secondly, we'll talk about ETH flipping Bitcoin this year. Will it happen? Well, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on this, and I'm also going to be talking about some projections, some numbers about where Ethereum is going to go. And lastly, as long as I remember, 60 ETH equals millionaire status. Can that be the case? And if so, how? What price do we have to see Ethereum get to? And when will that happen? So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in this video. Stay tuned for sure. Also, if you're not a Patreon already, consider becoming a patron to get access to these videos 2 to 3 days earlier than everyone else, earlier than the people watching it here on YouTube right now, and also get access to me. You can message me about any questions you have about the platforms or coins that I'm in, and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. All right, so first let's talk about the merge. Is the merge priced in? So this is the first thing that I want to look at right here. This rainbow chart. Now, this rainbow chart is sort of a meme in the crypto community, but I mean, to me, honestly, all trading analysis is sort of memey at the end of the day. Crypto just kind of does whatever it wants. But right now, we're looking at Ethereum at the price of about $1,899, $1,900 pretty much. And if we take a look at this chart right here, this chart basically tells you when is a good time to buy and when is a good time to sell. And it's really followed the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum have followed the rainbow chart pretty well. If you've been basing your trades off of this rainbow chart, you're doing extremely well with your trades. So what do I mean by that? We can look at the Bitcoin chart because they have kind of some better explanations of each category here. But basically, the very bottom of the rainbow chart is basically a fire sale. So that's the time that you're going to want to buy. And we can see that that's happened a lot in the past, where at this basically a fire sale point, as long as you've bought at that moment and you've sold at this maximum bubble territory point, then you are in great profit. And like I said, the lines, they don't lie. They've been following this chart pretty well. So right now, Bitcoin's pretty much on fire sale at $21,000. If Bitcoin hit $240,000, it would be at a point where it is, too expensive and you probably want to sell it at that point. So this Ethereum rainbow chart is the same thing. And I do believe that it's partially true and it does sort of fit with my strategy in terms of accumulating Ethereum. So is the price of Ethereum, is the price of the merge priced in already? Is Ethereum already way too expensive? According to this chart, no. Ethereum's price is currently at the undervalued status right now at about, $1,900. And we're almost at the accumulate stage where it's still not that expensive in terms of getting some ETH right now. Where would it be if it was overvalued? Maximum bubble territory today would be at $22,000 per Ethereum. So I do think that if it was at that point, I would definitely be selling. But we will talk about some numbers about how we can get there and when it's going to get there pretty soon here. So don't panic too much if you think that your ETH if you think that the price is priced in. Now, granted, I do think that with news like this, news definitely does move the markets around a little bit, and people have been anticipating this merge for a while, so there can definitely be some volatility. Like maybe around when the merge happens, we might see some negative movement in the price of ETH, maybe for a couple months, but I think that long term, we probably will be following this Ethereum rainbow chart, and we will get to those higher levels as long as you're not thinking extremely short term. All right, so the next topic that I want to get into, make sure I remember myself, ETH flipping Bitcoin this year. Can it happen? Will it happen? What are the numbers that we need to look at to see it happening? Well, let's take a look at this other website that I really like right here. This is called the Coin Perspective. All these links I'll have in my Patreon. So if you guys want to go to my Patreon, you can have links to all this stuff. For those of you who are patrons and just want to view it for free, they're both there. But nonetheless, here it is, the Coin Perspective. So this Coin Perspective tells us what the price of Ethereum will be if it has the same market cap as Bitcoin or higher. So this would be the quote unquote flippening that people are talking about. So the flippening, or Ethereum flipping Bitcoin, Ethereum becoming the next #1 cryptocurrency, which hasn't happened in the history of crypto. Nothing's really ever passed Bitcoin before. That is only going to take a 2x at the current moment. And I think that with the merge coming, and I don't think I mentioned this earlier, the merge is slated to happen about a month from now, for I think around September 11th through the 15th, approximately. But if that merge does happen and we do see a massive movement of 2x higher than Bitcoin's movement, because I do believe that all of crypto's markets are going to kind of move together. But I do think that Ethereum has the chance to get 2x higher gains than Bitcoin, within the next couple months here. That's not too hard to see, or to kind of see happening. We've seen Ethereum's price hit $4,000 in the past. So it is definitely attainable because it's done it before. The whole market has dumped since then, but Ethereum has really rallied, especially in the past month. So getting to this 2x point, I think, is not going to be that difficult. And I think it can go significantly higher than that too, and we'll talk about those numbers as well. But like I said, getting to just a 2x is going to put Bitcoin or Ethereum in the #1 spot. And I think that just with that happening, I think that Ethereum is going to be sort of a catalyst for people to migrate back to the crypto space. The crypto space in general has had a bad name. It's been sort of this evil thing to a lot of people, including some of mainstream media, and for good reason. So we can kind of get into the next point that I want to talk about, which is Ethereum really going to be the leader of the next bull run? And I do think that that is definitely going to be the case, because if we do see Ethereum get to that #1 point, people's excuses will completely disappear. So people's excuses right now for crypto being evil, and right now Bitcoin and crypto are sort of equivalent. They're the same thing in a lot of people's names. So crypto's evil for two reasons. One of the reasons is because of energy consumption. So Bitcoin and Bitcoin in particular uses a lot of energy. So we can see here, this is a chart that I have, and again, I'll have all these links in Patreon if you guys want to look at these yourself. The carbon footprint for Bitcoin, annual carbon footprint, is about 79.82 megatons of CO2. So that's comparable to the carbon footprint of the entire country of Romania. Bitcoin uses the same amount of energy as an entire country. So not good for the planet. I mean, that's pretty much true. It's not that great for the planet if you add another country just with this system that's online. The electrical energy, comparable to the power consumption of Ukraine for an entire year. We look at some other things about a single transaction from Bitcoin. One single transaction is equivalent to 143,374 hours of YouTube being watched. That's just one transaction. Imagine if you're sending 3 or 4 transactions a day, you're watching a lot of YouTube using up that much energy for those transactions. So people that say Bitcoin is evil and crypto in general is evil because of this, I mean, it makes sense. And Ethereum, same deal. And we'll get to some positive news here in a second. Ethereum, same deal. Sorry, I closed that tab there. Ethereum, it's less than Bitcoin. So comparable in 1 year, the electrical energy that Ethereum uses is comparable to the power consumption of the entire country of Kazakhstan. Still, you have another country's worth of energy being used. Same with the carbon footprint. Carbon footprint of Sweden, which is, one of the best carbon footprints in the world. But nonetheless, that's still not good to have just a system online using that much energy. And same thing with the electrical energy. 7.18 days worth of electrical energy in one transaction. If you have your power on for 7.18 days, 1 week basically is one Ethereum transaction. So pretty big deal. But all of this stuff is going to be saved with proof of stake. So if we take a look at right here, that's what the whole merge is about. It's about Ethereum going from proof of work to proof of stake. And this is all happening probably within 30 days, within 1 month, where this changeover from proof of work to proof of stake. So what that means is, one of the things it means is Ethereum's going to be using 100, well, let me look at the number exactly here. Let's see if I have it in my history, because I did a few other transactions or calculations. So right here, Ethereum's going to have about 11,200 times less of a carbon footprint when it goes to proof of stake. Right now it's using 112 terawatts per year worth of energy, and after proof of stake is going to be using 0.01 terawatts worth of energy, less than PayPal. So that's pretty darn good. That excuse is no longer going to be valid for crypto, because again, right now, Bitcoin and crypto are the same thing in a lot of people's eyes. And if Ethereum does take that #1 spot, then I think that a lot of people will say Ethereum and crypto are equal, and they'll no longer be able to say that, oh, we're killing the planet with crypto, because the #1 cryptocurrency is only using, like I said, significantly less, 0.01 terawatts of energy per year. Big deal right there. So you might be saying, well, King of Fomo, that's all good and well, but then we have another problem. If we have Ethereum go up too much in price, we've seen this in the past, the gas fees are going to be out of this world. They're going to be crazy, mad expensive. We've seen in the past upwards of $100 to spend on one single swap of a coin in the past with Ethereum. Now, that's basically been fixed for a lot of different reasons. So let's just look at that, and we can see just with the price without it really being fixed, what is it going to be? So right now, the gas price for Ethereum for doing a Uniswap transaction, so just a Uniswap version 3 swap, right now, if you were to do it, it costs about $3.49, which is still, in some people's eyes, pretty expensive, but it's not a deal breaker. Like, some people will pay that price to swap a coin, as long as you're not swapping like $2 or $3 worth of a coin. And if we get to that price where Ethereum does flip Bitcoin, and again, that's just simply an upside of 101% or 2x, then you're essentially just going to 2x that transaction cost. So it's going to cost $7 to send that transaction over. So if that's the case, I think it's still well within the realm of people able to handle and deal with that. It's still not great. Obviously, you can do a lot of other methods of moving money around or trading with way less of a transaction fee, especially if you're trading with smaller amounts. But $7 is still not too shabby. So I do think that that's not going to be a big factor if we do see Ethereum get to that #1 spot. That's not going to be that big of a complaint. And even we can go even further with that. If Ethereum does become mainstream adopted and the mainstream start to see crypto as not such an evil thing anymore because of those two reasons, I think that these two layer 2 solutions will be used and developed and known a whole lot more, especially a lot more than they are right now. So what that means is Arbitrum and Optimism. Currently, the transaction cost for doing a Uniswap trade on Arbitrum and Optimism is about 34 cents. So again, you're looking at 75 cents per transaction if Ethereum hits the same price as Bitcoin. Not too bad, right? That's something that people will be able to handle. And even going further than that, we're not going to talk about this in this video. We'll save that for another video. If we look at side chains like Polygon, if we get to that level, Polygon's current cost is 82 cents or 0.82 cents. You're looking at like what, 1.6 cents per Uniswap in Polygon. So there's a lot of solutions to that second evil thing about crypto that people have. So with those two things fixed, I can just imagine the sky is going to be the limit for the price of crypto if people run out of bad stuff to say about it. So that kind of brings me to my third point, 60 Ethereum. 60 Ethereum equals millionaire status. How did I get to that number? Well, like I said, if all of this other stuff does come true, if Ethereum does become the #1 crypto and the mainstream media and people in general look at crypto as a thing that is usable and good, and you start having companies using Ethereum and the services in Ethereum, then I think that we can see definitely easily retouch all-time high values. So what is all-time high value? So Bitcoin's all-time high, the #1 crypto's all-time high market cap was $1.2 trillion. $1.2 trillion. So I think that Ethereum getting to $1.2 trillion is definitely within the realm of possibility if we have this new positive light on the world of crypto. Now, even going beyond that, I think that reaching, like with those problems solved and with just more mainstream use, the next quote unquote bull run, I think we can easily see a $2 trillion market cap for the number one cryptocurrency, which in this case I'm saying would be Ethereum at that point. And if we go back over here and we just type in $2 trillion market cap, so $2 trillion market cap, $2.1 trillion market cap right here, we're looking at a price of, oh wait, I screwed up there. Let's do that again. Let me reload this and type the number in. It's about $17,000. So I already did the math earlier. So let's just say 20 and delete this. There we go. So $17.2 thousand, an upside of 8x or 803%. Is that a possibility? I think definitely that is a possibility for Ethereum within the next 5 years. I'd say at the very most. I think it's going to be less than that, but at the very most, as the market recovers and in general, there's just going to be a lot of interest in crypto in the next 5 years for sure. So what is that where did I get that number from before? So 60 Ethereum at that price is potential worth of $1 million. Right now it's $114,000, but you can plug your numbers in here as well. Again, these links are going to be on my Patreon if you guys want to see these websites for yourself. So if you have, I don't know, if you have 10 ETH right now, currently is worth about $19,000, you're going to have $171,000 when we get to that new all-time high for Ethereum. And even this number, like this number right here, guys, 17.2 K for Ethereum. If we go back to the rainbow chart, what level is that going to be at for the rainbow chart? So that would be pretty much at time to go back to BTC. So that would be at a sell point at the current moment. But I think in the future, like I said, if we go if this doesn't go out that far in the future, but if we go to 2023, this is October of 2023, you're looking at $17,000. It's a pretty good point. It's a pretty good prediction for the next year, like I said, at the very minimum. So that is everything for this explanation video. Hopefully I gave you guys enough sources and information to understand kind of how big of a deal I think the merge is going to be for crypto in general. But this is going to affect a lot of other coins too. Like I said, it's just like the sky's going to be a limit. If Ethereum does hit that $17,000 mark, $2 trillion market cap, crypto's taken a lot more seriously in general. Grandpa Bitcoin may not be your number one coin anymore. It may not even be in the top 5 because people are going to see the potential in these other coins that are running off of the Ethereum blockchain or maybe having their own protocols. And there's going to be so much opportunity. Like I said, if crypto becomes mainstream accepted, imagine the YouTube of crypto or the Twitch of crypto, and the market cap where that can go. I'm talking about things like Theta versus Twitch, or a lot of other stuff that we have in the works here for crypto as it grows. There's just so much possibility. That is everything for today, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Hopefully, like I said, that gave you guys a little bit of perspective of where Ethereum is going to be and what I think is going to happen in the future with ETH long term. Now, we will be talking about other stuff on this channel. I'm still going to be talking about the debt box, IX Global, and other things that pop up along the way. So if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, comment below if you want to comment below. But honestly, I read my comments on Patreon. I don't really read the comments on YouTube. And if you want to become a patron and get these access to these videos 2 or 3 days earlier than everyone else, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, people on my Patreon already saw it about maybe 1 or 2 days ago. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.